Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, RGV, Sunday morning online spiritual experience. We are delighted that you have joined us today for this time together of mindful contemplation, affirmations, prayer, meditation, and music. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We offer a unique approach to spirituality. We are love-based and all-inclusive. We embrace an open heart and an open mind. We are spiritual, but not religious. As an interspiritual community and divine love and expression, we draw from and honor all paths to spirit. We envision a spiritually transformed, peaceful world. We do not have any dogma, but we do have 5 principles that formulate our philosophy. Our foundational belief is in oneness, and our fundamental practice is mindfulness, that is, being in the present moment. Once again, welcome to Unity. The announcements for this morning are that we will return to live service next week, October the 31st, and we will be doing a Dia de los Muertos tribute. And so I had asked you a couple of weeks ago that if you had pictures you wanted to include in the service, to send them to unity509@gmail.com. If you have not done so, do that soon so that we can get those up and going for next week. Let me see, any other announcements? Oh yes, as I said last time, November 30th will be my last day here at Unity RGV. It's been a wonderful experience to be here serving you for 10 years now, but it's time to move on, and I have been hired as the new minister at Unity of Georgetown. So wish me well with that, and I wish you well as well. That's our announcements for this morning. Let us begin this morning by lighting our Unity candle first. And with these words about awakening. Fully awake, I see clearly. Upon awakening, I face a day filled with infinite possibilities. I open my senses to the world around me, its sights, its sounds, the aromas, the textures, and the flavors. My world feels new, full of promise and potential. I feel as though anything is possible. I feel this way also as I awaken on my spiritual journey. I embark upon my spiritual path anew and open myself to a new experience of spirit, free from old ideas and preconceived notions that no longer serve me. I am an awakened soul. I open myself to extraordinary insights and new perspectives beginning this very moment. And so it is.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can
Join me now in Unity's statement of being that is shared throughout all Unity centers around the world. There is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. Unity teaches that mankind is endowed with 12 powers or faculties or abilities that comprise and reflect our divine nature. Today's power is life. In the phenomenal world, life is the energy that propels all forms to action. Life in people is their increasing consciousness of their world, their inner activities, the forces and the movements about them. It is the power to express the eternal activity of the divine. The power to express the eternal activity of the divine. That's nice. And today's affirmation is, I claim my power of life now. I vitalize and energize all that I think and do based on divine ideas. Now comes the time in the service where we like to spend a little time together in the spirit of gratitude. So today I say, thankfulness is my heart's natural expression. I need no special reason to be thankful, no list of blessings to inspire gratitude. Unity author Reverend Eric Butterworth wrote, one can be grateful with the same spontaneity as being happy. It simply flows forth from within and it becomes a causative energy. With a thankful mind and heart, I release worry and frustration, trusting that my every need will be met. I discover more of God's presence in myself and others everywhere I go. I see possibilities for good even in challenging circumstances. Eager to share my thankfulness, I welcome opportunities to be of service to others, just as I gratefully accept blessings shared with me. I live in the flow of life, love, peace, and abundant beauty. I am thankful. Every day, in every way, I am grateful. And so it is.
As we start this time of inner reflection, let's begin by getting comfortable. Remove all objects from your lap. Place your feet on the floor and sit up comfortably in your chair. Relax the muscles in your face, shoulders, arms, hands, and fingers. Feel your hips, legs, feet, and toes relax as well. Release any areas of tension you feel in your body. Take a deep, centering breath. Slowly inhale, gently hold for a few seconds, and then slowly exhale. Repeat a few times. Focus on your inhalation and exhalation as you continue to relax your body. Gently breathe in and out. Just relax and breathe naturally. You now feel the increased sense of relaxation to your body with every breath. Feel calmness and peace wash over you. Now let's center our attention to the daily word for today, which is passion. Our Bible verse is from 1 Peter 4:11 and reads, "Whoever speaks must do so as one speaking the very words of God. Whoever serves must do so with the strength that God supplies." Today's affirmation is, "My purpose fuels my passion." Let's say that together once. My purpose fuels my passion. Our message reads, "Purpose sets my heart aflame with passion. Each day I awaken ready to answer the call of my heart, to give my best efforts and fullest attention to purposeful activity. Passion is the energy I bring to everything I do. I discover the glory of God through passion. As I do the things that make me feel the most alive, that fill me with energy and zeal, and color the world with hope and promise, I recognize the divine presence behind it all. God is the source of all the passion I feel and the purpose that drives me. My passion is not for me alone. The life energy that radiates from me inspires those around me to live a life of purpose and passion, to boldly express their divinity as only they can. Now let's close our eyes and take these words and this affirmation into the silence.
I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. I love the silence down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. I've got a new day down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
Good morning, everybody. Today I'm inviting you to let's navigate a journey of spiritual awakening. If I were to speak in tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all my possessions to the poor and give up my body to hardship that I might boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. Love never fails, but where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, and our prophecy is in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked as a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put away childish things behind me. For now, we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three things remain: faith, hope, and love. But love is the greatest of these. My goodness, when I read that this last time, it was like an explosion went off in my mind. I've used 1 Corinthians 13, chapter 13 in weddings for the last 35 years. And this little piece really just jumped out at me. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully as I am fully known. And that is where we take our spiritual awakening journey. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am known. This passage of scripture is a roadmap of our spiritual evolution, I believe. And the key through all these doors and all these stops is love. The Apostle Paul continually reminds us that no matter what we aspire to, without love, these aspirations come to nothing. The universe, allness, God, whatever you choose to call the power that sustains us, this power knows us because it is us, and we are it. It's a two-way street, but there's always construction on humanity's side. We're always under construction. And it seems like road construction can go on forever. As soon as one part gets fixed, then another part gets torn up. We are always under construction. We are the one limited for now. But soon, we'll know fully, even as we are known, and that we are in the process of awakening. Let's take the next few minutes and navigate this journey of spiritual awakening. Anytime we talk about a process in human growth and development, we can put it into stages. It's not like a straight line, but because we're always learning something new and we always need to know about ourselves, so it's always kind of a cyclical thing. It's not a straight line. Paul Hasselbeck, Michael Beckwith, and many other New Thought leaders describe 4 stages of conscious evolution. To me, by me, through me, is me. And we circulate through these stages all the time. Stage 1, to me, is a victim stage where the person believes that something outside of me controls my destiny, that something is happening to me that determines my destiny, my happiness, my success, my well-being, whatever that is. You know, it could be God, it could be anybody, anything, but as long as somebody else is controlling it, that's a victim stance. Stage 2, by me, is that we've learned to manifest. We can use our minds. We use spiritual principles to manifest the kind of lives that we can imagine. And this is the manifestation stage. A lot of us in Unity love this stage because it brings us and helps us to manifest the life that we want to live. Stage 3 is through me. We've done a rich work in stage 2. We've manifested, we've got all the good in life that we need and want. And now that we have an inner subjective belief that life is for us, okay? It's just great. That the universe is progressive, that something wonderful is always happening. And we learn to yield to that life that's always happening to us, to give over to it. This stage in which we go through the zone here. And sometimes we have a peak experience and we know that something more is operating through us, that we're just having a great time. And we're ready to help others in that's coming through us. So we're having this great time and everything is happening, it's coming through us. We're a channel at that point. Stage 4 is as me. The line of separation is dissolved and we feel our oneness with all of life with no filter. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. You see where that comes together? First stage, victim, we get through that one. We manifest what we want. We're a channel of good to self and others. And number 4 is that we're it. There's no separation, that we're one. And that's our whole process. We're a one. So does this mean, the stage 4, mean that we reach perfection? That we become perfect? I'm going to relieve some pressure. No. As long as we're in this human earth school, we're always learning. And I think that this connection with all there is, with the universe, gives us even more to learn all the time. We're always learning. So as we are evolving now, but how do we know when we're in this process of evolution? Okay. What signs do we have? What's going on with us? Because sometimes you can feel kind of crazy and not know what's going on. But once we find out what's going on, then, oh, okay, well, I'm normal. I'm okay. Deepak Chopra describes 10 stages of spiritual enlightenment and spiritual awakening. Deepak tells us that awakened has made it into the Urban Dictionary, where it's defined as, get this, spiritually aware of the universe and its direct metaphysical connection to one's own being and the connection it has to all life forces. How long have we been saying that? Okay, well, it reached the Urban Dictionary, so it's real, okay? So with this understanding of awaken, let's zoom through these 10 signs that Deepak has given us. And I may have to make a series out of this because it's just so good, okay? So the first sign that we start seeing is we begin observing patterns in our lives. In dream building, which I'm a dream builder coach, we call this brave thinking tool. Notice what you're noticing. And noticing our habits, our behaviors, our feelings, our desires, but it's all in the present. And it's followed by an impulse to change something about ourselves. We change something about ourselves. I didn't say change someone else. This is my journey. This is your journey. We're not changing anybody else but us, okay? So we start observing our patterns. We start looking at ourselves, and we begin to want to change things for the better. Okay? Stage 2, number 2 is feeling a sense of connection, and this is what we talk about. Connection from the shared humanity. And we find ourselves interested in helping others and volunteering and trying on a different perspective even from where we previously were. I know when I first came into Unity and started learning more about Unity, whenever I read something that somebody wrote that was critical of Unity or talking about how terrible, it wasn't real or whatever, it would really offend me and it really hurt me. But now it's like, you know what? It's a different perspective. That's their belief. That's what they know. This is my belief, and I'm okay with that. But it took some doing to get to that place. And so we get this heightened awareness of even the animals around us and the earth around us and the planet. And we're just so aware of everything, and we're connected with everything. And so number 3 is letting go of attachment. Now, but this attachment is how I define myself. And most of the time as we're growing up, we take on beliefs and descriptions based on what our parents, our friends, media, the church, science even tells us what we should be and what we should be like. And each belief, let's look at each one of these beliefs that we have about ourselves as a veil. You know, maybe you believe I'm smart, or maybe you believe I'm good, or maybe you believe I'm warrior, or whatever it is. That this is just a veil. And once we become aware of the veil that we're behind, it becomes transparent. It's not that all these things go away, all of these, the way we see ourselves, they don't just go away, but once we become aware of it, it becomes transparent. And it's still there, but we can see through it. It doesn't have to blind us, that we can see past that description of how we define ourselves, because we know we're not that. So, okay. So number 4, finding inner peace. And inner peace, this is one of those parts of the journey. Doesn't mean that things won't go sideways in our life. It doesn't mean that life is perfect. It just means that when things do go sideways, the things that happen that we don't expect to happen, we don't get on an emotional roller coaster about it. We don't stay in that state forever. And it doesn't take years for us to get over being angry or sad or whatever's going on with us. That we can experience the emotion, we can experience the pain, whatever it is, and then we can let it go. It's like the Dalai Lama said, it's like, inner peace is like stubbing your toe. You feel the pain at the moment, but then it's gone. It's only in that present moment. So we don't let things bother us the way we used to. And you'll see a lot of people this way. Things can be happening all around them, and they're experiencing it, and they know it, they feel it, but it's not affecting them a long time. You know, they can still function, they can still be at peace, and that's where we want to be. Number 5th sign is increasing our intuition. Intuition in unity is a spiritual faculty. Charles Fillmore has a booklet called Pure Reason and Logic of Practical Christianity, which I started reading, and it's very good, where he logically and systematically began to look inside of himself for pure reason and honest logic of practical Christianity. And when he was said to have said, well, you know, Jesus' religion really works when you work it, okay? When it's logic and it makes sense to you. And for him, doing what makes sense to us and trusting it. That's what our intuition does for us. It helps us to find out what's good for me and be able to do that. A lot of times we know that, but we don't do it, okay? So real quick, I got to go through increasing our compassion. That empathy is our ability to feel what others are feeling and try a new perspective. Okay, so empathy is feeling what others are feeling. Compassion, then, is an action that is inspired by empathy. That we begin to notice a more all-encompassing empathy for others, and we get into compassion and we want to do something. This is where we want to do something with the compassion that we're feeling to help others. And also in this process of compassion is that we're learning more self-empathy. We're learning to take care of ourselves, and we really need to do that. Okay, moving on, because we got to move on here. Removing the fear of death is another sign of spiritual awakening. And Deepak says that death seems less tragic when we focus on living in the here and now rather than worrying about the future or regretting the past. The religious upbringing instills a fear sometimes, and as we transition out of the body, the soul lives on. And that if we realize that death is an inevitable process of life, and for me, seeing my death as a natural graduation from earth school, it's exciting. It really is. You know, I don't say I want to die right now. No, I don't want to, but it's not the fear that we used to have. So that we're awakening to what that really means, that we're already connected, and that's okay. The 9th thing is increasing authenticity. in that we know who we are. We're not living a fake life, okay? And we're moving toward the changes that we're experiencing, and we're making our beliefs and actions congruent. And one thing I really realized too is that the difference between being an authentic person and being a self-important person is that the authentic person has an energy of warmth and safety. You feel warm around that authentic person, even though they're telling you what's going on, they're telling you their truth or whatever, but you just feel the sense of caring for them. And when you feel that, then you know that this person is really authentic. And the last one, flourishing. And the awakened people have a level of well-being that seems to be more consistent. And in positive psychology, there's a theoretical model of happiness called PERMA. And PERMA means positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishments. And these are all strengths of the awakened. So let's look at some practices real quick. I'm just going to mention them because most of us are already doing them, but I'll just mention them. It's practice to meditate, spend more time outside, laugh, dance, connect with your community, volunteer, practice gratitude, and slow down and breathe. Slow down and smell the roses, as they say. When we experience all these things, we're seeing more clearly. We're connecting to the all there is. We're moving to stage 4, the is me, and beyond. And what's beyond stage 4? I don't know. Let's get there and see what's beyond. And so it is. Have a great time navigating your journey of spiritual awakening. And so it is. Take care and love you and good.
Now comes the time in the service where we offer our tithes and gifts to the Spiritual Community Unity RGB. And remember, there's different ways to send your money. You can send it to the P.O. box, or you can send it Venmo, PayPal. I forgot what else there is. There's a bunch of them. Anyway, we take our offerings in hand or in our hearts, and we say, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Once again, thank you for joining us today for this time together. And I remind you that next week we will be here live at the service at the center. And the board recommends that you wear your masks, and hopefully you've been vaccinated and had your booster. I know I have, so let's see if we can get this live thing going back again next week. So join us then. In the meantime, we close with our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed